Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be discussing the Air Max 90 Grateful Ducks, the Oregon Ducks Grateful Dead collaboration that we just saw shock drop today. Specifically, we're going to be talking about whether it should sell or hold them right now before the main drop, which Nike sneakers themselves announced as the 24th. Today we just saw a shock drop, and we're actually going to be seeing a better shock drop very soon. So if you haven't already, consider joining Endurance with the link below, not just for Nike sneakers early info, but also for Pokemon early info and lots of other resources too. Consider joining us with the link below. As of me making this video, it is October 21st, the day of the shock drop, and the average post shock drop price for size 8 to 12 is currently only $222, far lower than what it was before the drop. These were actually in the high hundreds not too long ago. Currently, these prices do make these profitable in the large sizes given the low retail, and even the lower sizes if you have no tax or you could avoid platform fees. Overall, it's an easy lunch money drop, nothing too crazy though. However, tons of people cop these anticipating much higher returns. So today I'm just trying to advise you guys on the best possible way to make the best out of these. Typically, after a shock drop, the full regular Nike sneakers release is many weeks away, giving the market lots of time to slowly depreciate until the drop date as all pairs go in circulation. Not to mention the fact that the Grateful Dead site also dropped today already, but Nike themselves have announced a full regular drop on October 24th. With the full drop being so close, this has led to lots of panic selling in the market because the entire market is anticipating that the price will plunge even further since more stock is, of course, about to drop in just a couple of days. It makes sense. While that is indeed the release pattern, this often leads to an overreaction, an overcorrection in the market, and it actually leads to the sneaker being kind of undervalued before the drop. With that said, considering these have already dropped a ton in value, it may be in your best interest to hold these until the main Nike sneakers drop on the 24th, which they announced themselves. Because while yes, more pairs will of course be entering into circulation, the anticipation of exactly that will no longer be in the market. So what will be greater, the actual supply entering the market or the anticipation of that event? This is basically the equivalent to gambling on an earnings call for a stock option. And in this case, you would be buying a call option anticipating that the stock or the sneaker is undervalued before the drop because people are pricing in some bad news that's about to happen. But even when they announce that bad news, somehow the stock price actually goes up because the market was overreacting and over anticipating it. And for that reason, I think we could potentially see a 5 to 10% increase from these current prices, leading to an average of $244 post-drop. You won't make a lot more, but I'm just explaining the pattern I'm expecting, so you could decide what you want to do. I'm just trying to help you guys make the most amount of money possible and explaining these kinds of patterns that I see release after release. Now, as for holding these long-term, in the case that prices are around $240 post-drop, if that is the case, I would take your small profit and just sell these at that point. Stock is much higher on these than it was for the Grateful Dead Dunks, and the Dunks were also a more preferred model, and even the entire concept of the colorway. Don't expect these prices to get to those levels, and those Dunks actually used to be much higher, and they have since depreciated from like 700 to 500. I could see these losing value over time as well from the high on 24th. Nothing crazy, but I probably wouldn't want to hold on to these after the 24th. I think the 24th is where we might see a potential high. So overall, I think there will be a brief window after the main drop where prices will be a little bit higher than they are currently, followed by a gradual decrease in price as all shipments go out. That's it for today. Better shock drops are inbound, so while you can, I'd suggest joining Endurance with the link in the description below, and not just for sneakers, for Pokemon too, because we are killing Pokemon right now. There's no one doing it like us. Not to mention we have bypasses for other sites too, like that coin that just dropped, which was crazy profit.